Oh my god, can you like even see me? Why am I actually a silhouette? Hello? Eee. Okay, unfortunately this is going to have to be like a angle like this because the lighting's not working from that side. So anyway, hi guys, welcome back. For those of you who are new, hi, I'm Shema and welcome to my channel. The long-awaited Q&A is finally here. So I'm actually going out tonight and I thought, you know what, let me do a get ready with me Q&A. I don't think I could just like stand somewhere or sit somewhere, whatever, and like talk to a camera. Like I feel like I have to be doing something even though I can't multitask. I put on a question stick on Instagram for you guys to send me in some of your questions. A lot of you guys pulled through, so to everyone that sent questions, thank you so much for that. You're meant to go to archive, right? How do I view all the responses? Hello? Oh, there we go. Wow, you guys pulled through. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to go through all of them, but let's just go through.
Bombastic side eye, criminal offensive side eye.
Nini, mkona vituko? Hey. I'm going to put these on a little like document of the questions that I actually can ask. Yeah, so I'll do that as my primer is setting and then we'll get into it. Okay guys, I just finished putting them all on a little like well, the ones that I want to answer. The first question is, what do I like the most about doing YouTube? I really like that question. To put it plain and simply, guys, it's fun. Like I like the whole process of filming and editing is a lot more fun than I thought it would be. Just the whole process of being able to put together a finished product is so satisfying to me, and I think that goes for a lot of my hobbies as well. With every single hobby that I have, there's some element of a story, and I think probably one of my favorite things about it right now is the fact that I get to connect with so many of my friends and everybody kind of just gets to see what I'm up to, particularly my friends at home. I don't know, I feel more connected to them. I'll see somebody post like a photo of them watching my YouTube video on like Locket or something, or people will text me or send me voice messages or send me clips from my videos. It feels like I get to connect with the people that I care about. Okay, that's why I put my next question as what are my hobbies. So YouTube is a new hobby that I've picked up. Writing, I really love writing. That's probably my oldest hobby. I think I've been writing from like year 5. That's when I wrote my first piece. I think people think about writing is that, oh, like you like writing a story, you like being able to decide the events that happen in a story. But what I really like about writing is when you develop characters, you're not the one telling the story. You're not the one deciding where the story goes. It's your characters. To be able to build a character, to give them a backstory, you know, to give them a personality, to develop their childhood and their past and their traumas and their successes and their achievements. And that's what drives the stories. I find that, I don't know, it's so satisfying. Dancing. I love dancing. I'm currently injured, so I can't dance. Depression. You know when you're dancing, like for anyone that does dance, you know when you can literally feel the music in your body. It feels so good. I think it's also made me feel very connected to my body. So yes, I really love dancing. Other hobbies, I really like reading as well. Do I have other hobbies? I love watching shows. I know people are like, oh, that's a waste of time. How could that be a hobby? Yo, I watch them from like a writer point of view, so I'm always trying to figure out what's going on with the plot. I do watch it for entertainment, obviously, but there's always a lot more going on in my head when I'm watching shows. If you're one of my friends, then you probably know I get very like charged when I'm watching a show I'm really passionate about. I'm a very big advocate for hobbies. If you do not have a hobby, get yourself a hobby. Genuinely, your life cannot just be like, oh, what you're studying. No, don't do that. Get yourself a hobby. Get things that fulfill you. Okay, the next question. Oh, this is like, I like these types of questions. They're very like, favorite food. I really like sushi. You've probably noticed that from my vlogs. Pizza. I'm really never in the mood for pizza. I could eat pizza any day, anytime. Favorite drink. Come on now. Come on. If you don't know the answer to this question, are you sure you've watched my videos? Bubble tea. That is like my liquid IV. And then I'd say coffee. I don't even know how to say that coffee is my favorite drink, because I drink coffee every day. Like, coffee to me is like water. Like, I need it for everyday survival. Drop the gym routine, baddie. I don't have like a particular like day routine or this or that. So if that's what you mean by gym routine, then that one, it differs. If you want to know though, my workout split: on Mondays prior to injury, I would do legs and lower back. On Tuesdays, I would do arms, upper back and chest. On Wednesdays, I would walk. You walk. Hey. On Friday, I do cardio. So for me, I pick dancing. I really do like running as well, but I don't eat well enough to be doing like 2 days of cardio every single week. So if I had to pick one, I choose dancing any day. On Friday, core. On Saturday, full body. And then on Sunday, I stretch and I call it a day. How old am I? I'm 19 years old, although I turn 20 in like a few days. By the time this video comes out, I will be 20. How many siblings do you have? I have 3 brothers, 1 older brother, 2 younger brothers. Do you miss Kenya? No, I don't miss it at all. Like, I got out. Hallelujah. What sort of question is that? Especially the person who asked me this question. Of course I miss Kenya. Kenya's home, bro. Like, I was raised in Kenya. I was built for Kenya. Like, as much as I do really like Australia, I just think that I fit better in Kenya because just that's how I was raised, you know? I was conditioned for that kind of an environment. So I guess there's always a part of me that's just gonna keep feeling out of place here. And I don't mind it, because if it means that I get to stay feeling in place in Kenya, then by all means, that's the country that raised me. What curriculum did you study? I'm assuming you meant in high school. I did IB, the International Baccalaureate. 2 out of 10 experience. Do not recommend it. Guys, IB is stressful. I don't know. Sometimes I'm kind of like, I feel like I gave the last parts of my teenagehood away. And honestly, like, bro, uni is gonna be difficult compared to high school. That's a given. So even if IB does make you better prepared for uni by like 5%, I don't think that it was worth it. You were gonna come and struggle anyway. You might as well have enjoyed your high school experience regardless. Oh, I knew I forgot something. Okay, next question. Best study tips. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna say this based off of my experience, my first 2 years. My first year and like barely a half of uni. The aim is to find a study technique that is efficient for you, that works for you. There are going to be so many study techniques thrown in your face in uni. Not all of them are going to work for you. Just because people are doing this, and this does not mean that you in fact need to be doing this, and this. Everybody learns differently. People understand things differently. People process information differently. There's no reason why the same technique should work for people whose minds work differently. That being said, I'd also say spend the first couple of weeks at uni or high school, whatever, finding a study technique that works for you or that works for those subjects that you're taking, because trust me, it is better to focus on finding study techniques that work for you earlier on, rather than getting halfway through the semester and realizing, shoot, I knew these were not working for me. I kept forcing issues, and now I'm in a position where I'm sitting a midterm or I'm sitting a final. I'm not prepared because you did not find a study technique earlier. That being said, do not be afraid to change your study techniques. A study technique is only good for as long as it works. The second, okay, maybe not second, you might need to give it a bit, but when you notice that your study technique is not working for you, why are we forcing issues? Change it. There's heaps of them out there. There's going to be something that works for that. Talk to senior students. Oh my God. Talk to your senior students. They have been in your position. People that have taken your class before. People that have had your professors before. They have been there. Nobody is in a better position to give you advice than them. Use and abuse them, guys, because it's going to save you a whole bunch. And then it's going to be your turn to be used and abused by somebody else. Skincare routine. Okay, so my skincare routine is very simple because I have oily skin and acne prone skin. The less that you do, the better. I would just say do your research before you start putting a whole bunch of stuff on your face. If you do have a dermatologist that you see on occasion, best to ask them as well. Do your skincare based off of your skin type. But anyway, yeah, now to actually answer the question, sorry for all the unsolicited advice. My skincare routine is very simple. So in the morning, I just wash my face with a cleanser, and then I let my face air dry. Then after I wash my hands, I never touch my face with dirty hands. I probably do. I try not to touch my face with dirty hands, particularly when I'm putting product on. I put on hyaluronic acid serum first. If you don't know what that is, that's for moisture. But the thing is, if you're using a hyaluronic acid serum, you need to seal it with moisturizer. So I put on a moisturizer on top of that, and then I put on sunscreen, and I move on with my day. At night, it's even simpler. I wash my face with the same cleanser, let my face air dry, and then I put on, it's a combination of clindamycin, which is an antibiotic, adapalene, which is a vitamin A derivative, and if you're aware of retinoids and what they do, it's also a retinoid. And that is the only thing that I put on my face at night. And mind you, this routine was given to me by my dermatologist. So who am I to say no to the expert? Next question, what keeps me motivated? Wow. I hope I answered that question well. I was not prepared for that kind of a question. Motivation is not present and alert a good amount of the time, but I'm not particularly motivated on a day-to-day basis. I know everybody says it's about discipline, it is in fact about discipline. Discipline is not something that I feel like should stress you out so much, because I feel like when I was in high school, everyone was like, I was watching all these YouTubers, I was reading a whole bunch of self-help books, and it was all about, build discipline. It became so stressful because I was like, what is wrong with me? Why am I not disciplined? I keep trying and I keep falling off, and you feel worse in the end. So I stopped particularly trying to build discipline, and it's just, I force myself to do things in whatever shape and form that is going to be. You don't always need to have positive motivators to do something. Sometimes they can be negative, and I think that's fine. Sometimes it's the fear of failing an exam, sometimes it's the fear of disappointing your parents, sometimes it's the fear of being homeless, and you're also not going to be able to get yourself to do things. Sometimes there are times I really try to get myself to do something and I can't. That's why I also think it's really important to listen to your body. Just because you know you should do something and you don't end up doing it, that might have just been your body telling you, hey babe, I'm tired, let's take a day off. I feel like if it's really, really, really hard for you to get something done, might also be because of an internal issue. And obviously I know not everyone has the funds to like see a counselor or psychiatrist. If you do, I would say do that. Talk to them. They might be able to help you figure out why you're not able to do something. What motivates me to keep going? One, I have such a deep passion for what I'm studying. I think that just makes it a lot easier. I see the importance in what I'm doing. So even if I might not be motivated every single day, I do have episodes of motivation, and I don't think it would be the same if I was doing a different degree. Next question, culture shocks when I first came to Australia. There's this thing, inaitwa pedestrian crossing. Apparently it's meant to be used. There's a button on like, kuna traffic light ya pedestrian, who knew? There's a button attached to it. You press it, you wait. The road could be empty. You have to wait for that thing to start pigaring kelele before you can cross the road. Apparently, you're not just meant to use your eyes, use your common sense, look at the road and cross. Apparently, it's safer to use that. And apparently, there's this crime in jaywalking. Yeah, anyway, if a country has certain safety precautions, do them. Even if you don't see why you should be doing them, or even if you've gotten by in your life just fine so far without doing them, just do them so you don't find yourself getting into trouble. Another culture shock, people are nice. It's a bit scary. Obviously not everybody is nice. There's the occasional evil one here and there. Some people are actually quite horrid, but in general, people up no, is nice the word, I should say polite. People are very polite. To your face, that is. Obviously, at the end of the day, everybody has their character, and people gossip, people do this, people do that. Fine. Oh wow, the eyeshadow is looking nice today. Everyone say mashallah. And I think I adopted that. It was very weird at first, but I think there was one time I went back to Kenya, right? And I was at USIU with my friend. And there was this table, and I wanted to grab a chair from there. And there were these two girls sitting there, and there was an extra chair. So I go, I'm like, hi, could I please borrow this chair if nobody's using it? The lady looks at me like,
bombastic side eye.
And I was like, thank you. And she went, okay. I was like, what? Sinimemstua. Next question. Ooh, fave bubble tea order. Brown sugar, fresh milk. Any icks? Inconsiderate people. People that are not mindful of others, people who think that they're just living on this planet alone, they have no consideration for other people. I just feel like there's certain things at a certain age. I'm not expecting anyone to be a mind reader, but I feel like you should be able to foresee certain things. You know, reading the room, social cues. For some people, obviously there's different cases, but for a whole group of people, I just think that the reason they end up not mindful is simply because they're very self-centered. And I think those ones are the saddest and like most tragic cases, because it's like you were just being ignorant to everybody else around you. If you feel like someone's not floating your boat or is not your cup of tea, get up and leave. It's not your job to make excuses for people. If someone's inconsiderate and you don't like that, unasimama na unajipeleka elsewhere. What editing style do you usually go for? Oh, I don't know how to answer that question. For anyone who wonders what I edit with, a lot of people have asked me about editing. I use Wondershare Filmora. I know it's probably not the best one out there, but it's the only one I knew how to use beforehand. For Wondershare Filmora, I feel like it was very easy for me to use even the first time. I don't remember being confused. So what style do I go for? I don't know. I like my vlogs being more on the chill side. I feel like before, my issue with my vlogs was that too much was happening in one vlog. I was trying to fit all the footage into one vlog. And I know there are people that have said they like my vlogs where a lot is going on because they're constantly like on their toes. And I appreciate that. But for me personally, it was just rubbing me the wrong way. So I was just like, no, that's not really the style I want to go for. So where or how do you like to study? I don't like studying in noisy places. That is something I've learned. For the most part, I do not like studying where people are. One thing I feel has changed about me since high school, I think I've become a lot more independent mentally. Here I would say I'm with people more often just because I live on campus, but I would say mentally I'm more independent because obviously I have to take care of my own affairs. I actually have to take care of every single thing. There's no aspect of my life that is being taken care of for me, apart from obviously like your tuition fee. You're in charge of managing those finances, you're in charge of running your own errands, you're in charge of booking your own appointments. Save this question for last, and that is, how do you balance school and personal life as an international student? Guys, you know, in every like image that I've seen about work-life balance has been like some sort of seesaw where it's kind of like, oh, keep it at 50-50, or like don't let it tip too much. Guys, when in life have we ever been able to give 50% to work and life and then 50% to this life? It's final season. Am I still giving 50% to my hobbies and to my social life? No, I'm giving 90% to my study. Is there anything wrong with that? No. Our job is not to balance it as closely as possible. It's to do it based off of differing needs and what is required at different points in time.
Hi guys. Hi. It's currently 6:18. We were meant to leave at 6, but everyone's moving on African time. Unfortunately, we are trying to come back early today because your girl has been very, very fatigued. We're going for Korean barbecue chicken.
That branches in my face.
And we just took heaps and heaps and heaps of photos. We look great.
We do not look like we're going to a Korean fried chicken. It's
Yeah.
not even a barbecue. I feel like even a barbecue would be fine. This is just like
it's just
fried
fried
chicken. This is like, it's genuinely just fried chicken, and we're like a...
We're gonna be the best dressed.
Yeah.
That's fine.